Alright, I think this is working. Basically what we're going to do is show you how to work out the brake cable situation that we have going on the DX. On the muscle, it's a similar situation, but the brake cable is long enough so it really works. So on the DX, I'm not sure if you guys flip the mirrors or if they come stock that way. Either way, there's only 2 wires going to them, so what I've had to do is clip it on the muscle. It's 2 wires, you just have to solder that up, put some heat shrink around it, not that big of a deal. If you're, way I'm going to show you right now is how to do it with taking the master cylinder, the brake cable and everything off the mirror. So, basically what I'm going to do is disconnect the nut. I'm going to work this off here, just take a second. For a novice, this is probably about a 5 or 10 minute job. On the muscle, the brake cable reaches just fine once you install the hanny riser. On the DX, apparently we've got a situation where you turn left or right and the cable doesn't quite reach. So I'm going to just show you how to take the master cylinder off the cable, slide the cable and everything through the forks, and everything will be good. Really 3 bolts, Torx bolts, which you have to take off. I've got a towel on the tank. Obviously you might want to put one on the front end as well. Sure don't want something to drop and scratch. Take this off. Wouldn't help to have a third hand. Take the cap off. There is the master cylinder, and the handle, brake handle and everything. And this just slides simply through the forks. Now, how it comes originally, if you wanted to reinstall that, slide that back on, tighten everything up. This is how it comes originally on the DX. So what we need to do is we need to bring this cable back here, and basically that's what we've done. Slid this back off, over, through. We're back up here. Now the cable's behind the forks where it'll give us easy reach. Tighten this back up real quick. Real simple to do, real easy. Not a hard thing at all. I have a couple of Torx 25 and a Torx 27, I think is the sizes that I'm using. Pretty simple to do. There's a couple other ways that I've found that on a DX that you could move this cable. Once you get this back on where you want it, you're going to want to look at the different handles and get them, going in the same direction. Because when this is off, as you can see, this will move a little bit. So you want to get them to be the same where they were before. It's not that big of a deal. Easy to look at, tighten up, and you're good to go again. So basically, there's a couple of ways you could do it if you didn't want to do it that way. But I'm suggesting to do it that way because it's very simple. One way to do it to get this cable from being up here to back behind the forks so it'll reach is to take this fork tube loose, bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, and you'd probably need 2 guys to slide this tube down through, and you could slide the cable over. Done. That would be pretty difficult for a lot of guys to do on their own, I would imagine. Another simpler way to do it would be to take this banjo bolt off the master cylinder, slide, again, just pull the cable or the brake hose, put it back around to the side, tighten it back up. You're going to introduce some air into the system if you do it that way. So once you, if you were to do it that way, which is a real easier way to do it, but if you're a little intimidated by air getting in the system, I wouldn't even suggest even bothering with that. Once you do that, you're going to want to take your master cylinder cap off. Make sure you've got towels all over the place wherever your paint's at, because you don't want to get that brake fluid on your paint. When you take this cap off, it's going to leak, so you're going to want a towel underneath here. Take this cap off and just slightly push it on after you get the brake hose back on. You've got no air in the system back here, okay? It's all from here back into the master cylinder where it bypasses. If you just lightly tap this, you'll start to see a few little air bubbles come up. Just keep doing that 20, 30 times. You don't need to go cranking it all the way in like that. Just a few times like this, you'll see the air stop coming out. You'll see it start to bypass the regular fluid instead of the air. And you can go ahead and start doing that, putting it back on. You're only going to lose about maybe a half an ounce of fluid at the most, maybe an ounce. You might need to add some, I doubt it. Put this back on. Make sure you've got good cable, good braking, and that'd be an easy way to do it as well. Like I said, a lot of guys aren't going to want to do it that way, so that's why I kind of did the video quickly on the other way. All right, thanks, guys. A DX Hanny riser is ready to go. We're ready to sell them. 2011, 12, and 13, I believe, is the years that it fits. I believe it's going to fit the older DX models. I need to do some exact figuring and make sure and get a few more test subjects to try it out for me. Once we get all that going, we'll be selling those as well. They're going to be black. They're going to be powder coated. I've already sold one to a guy. He seems to think it looks pretty cool, so we'll start it on the next couple of weeks, and I'll try to get some better videos for you. Thanks, fellas.